You are 25 years old. You live in a cramped studio apartment in Chicago. You use Chrome every day. You open an incognito window to search for debt relief. You see the little hat and glasses icon. You feel a sense of relief. You think you are invisible. You believe your secrets are safe. You are wrong. Your browser history is gone from your laptop. It is not gone from the world. Your ISP is still watching. Comcast knows every site you visited. They see the timestamps. They see the duration. They see the frequency. They package this data. They sell it to the highest bidder. You receive a targeted ad for a high-interest loan 10 minutes later. It is not a coincidence. It is a calculated strike. You realize the digital curtain is made of paper. You are the product. You are being sold. 6 months later, you move to level 2. You buy a popular VPN. You pay $5 a month for total protection. You choose a server in Switzerland. You feel like a digital ghost. You browse the web with a new confidence. You check your bank account. You think your IP address is a titanium shield. It is only a plastic mask. The websites you visit still recognize you. They use browser fingerprinting. They see your screen resolution. They see your installed fonts. They check your battery level and your processor type. They create a unique ID that follows you everywhere. You cleared your cookies yesterday. It did not matter. They linked your new session to your old identity in milliseconds. You are still standing in the spotlight. You are just wearing a different shirt. Enter the silent giants. Axiom, Experian. These are the architects of your digital twin. These American data brokers earn billions every year. Axiom alone earns over $1.1 billion selling your habits. They have 10,000 unique attributes on 2.5 billion people. They know your income level. They know your political leaning. They know your favorite brand of toothpaste. They know you are looking for a new car before you tell your spouse. You try to fight back. You read about the CCPA in California. You spend 3 hours clicking "Do not sell my info" buttons. You realize these laws are speed bumps. They are not walls. You live in Texas. The California laws do not protect you. The data keeps flowing. The trackers stay embedded. You feel the weight of 1,000 eyes on your neck. 1 year later, you are no longer clicking "Accept all." You stop trying to hide behind basic settings. You realize that local privacy is a lie told to the masses. The system is designed to harvest you. The first rule: privacy is not a button you toggle. It is a war you wage. You are ready to stop being a user. You are ready to become a ghost. The transition happens on a Tuesday. You realize the hardware is the snitch. Your iPhone is a tracking beacon. Your MacBook is a witness. You decide to burn it all down. You are moving to the next level. You are moving to the shadows. You are tired of the light. You want to disappear. 3 years pass. You are 31. You sit in a dim motel room on the edge of Reno, Nevada. Your laptop is a used ThinkPad bought for cash on Craigslist. You do not boot into Windows or Mac OS. You plug in an encrypted USB stick and load Tails. Everything runs entirely in the RAM. When you pull the stick, the memory is wiped. You open the Tor browser. You are using a network born in the Navy Research Lab. It was designed to keep intelligence officers safe in hostile territory. You route your connection through 3 global layers. Entry in Germany, middle in Sweden, exit in Thailand. You think you are a ghost. You believe you have finally found the exit door to the system. You are only halfway there. You use Tor. You feel safe. You are wrong. You realize your greatest enemy is in your pocket. You look at your smartphone. It is a tracking beacon that happens to take photos. You remember walking through LAX last summer. You saw the biometric gates. You watched travelers hand over their devices to CBP agents. You know the Fourth Amendment is a suggestion at the digital frontier. You decide to kill the link. You walk into a dusty gas station off Route 95. You place 2 $20 bills on the counter. You buy a basic flip phone. No contract, no ID, no link to your real name. You drive 5 miles into the desert and bury your iPhone in the sand. You watch the sun set over the Sierra Nevada. You are no longer a dot on a map. You are a blank space. But the system has a second layer. You learn about metadata. The NSA does not need to read your texts to know your life. They see the map of your connections. They see that person A talked to person B at 3 a.m. for 12 minutes. They see the signal jump from a tower in Vegas to a tower in Phoenix. Metadata is the smoking gun. It is the context that gives the content its meaning. You realize that encryption is a lock, but metadata is the blueprint of the house. You start using Signal with the sealed sender feature enabled. You rotate your MAC addresses every hour. You are building a digital bunker. You are safe, but you are also becoming a stranger to your own life. Your family thinks you are paranoid. Your bank thinks you are a fraud risk. You are winning the war. You are losing the world. The third rule: proximity to the network is proximity to surveillance. To be truly private, you must be truly inconvenient. You stop using credit cards. You stop using Gmail. You realize that every free service is a wiretap you installed yourself. You are now operating at a level that most people cannot comprehend. You are a ghost in the machine. You move with a calculated coldness. You check for tailing trackers on your car. You look for hidden cameras in your Airbnb. You have achieved security. But security is a cold, lonely room. You realize that hiding your data is not enough. You must now hide your personhood. You are prepared to enter the next phase. 1 year later, you are ready to escalate. You have mastered the code. Now you must master the law. You realize that your legal identity is a liability. Your name is a tag in a database. Your social security number is a serial number. You want to stop being a citizen and start being a sovereign. You are moving toward the void. You are going off grid. You are preparing to disappear from the physical world as effectively as you did from the digital one. The transition is about to begin. You are at the director level of your own disappearance. You do not model the human cost. You only model the results. You are leaving the grid. You are going dark. 2 years later, you reach level 5. You are 35. You have stopped worrying about digital cookies and browser fingerprints. You are now focused on the legal fabric of your existence. You realize your name is your greatest liability, and it is the primary key in every government and corporate database. You wanted to erase it from the public record. You fly to Cheyenne, Wyoming. You sit in a sterile, quiet office with a lawyer who does not ask personal questions. You form an anonymous LLC. You name it something intentionally boring like Blue Sky Management Group. In Wyoming, the law is your shield. The Secretary of State does not require the names of the members to be listed publicly. Your name does not enter the database. You are a shadow behind a corporate seal. You are gaining informational leverage over the state. You use this LLC to buy your next home. You choose a quiet street in a Maryland suburb. The real estate agent is confused when you provide the paperwork. She wants a person to sign the deed. You provide the corporate resolution instead. The house is recorded under the name of the company. When the county tax assessor looks up the property, they see a business entity. When a data broker scrapes the residency records, they see a ghost. You live in a house you do not technically own. You drive a car registered to a private trust in Delaware. Delaware is the second pillar of your fortress. You use a professional trustee service to handle the filings. You are the beneficial owner, but your face is nowhere near the paperwork. You are the ghost in the attic of your own life. This is the 5th rule. Ownership is a liability. Control is the only asset. The system relies on a central registry. Every American is indexed by their social security number and their physical address. By decoupling your name from your assets, you break the index. You are practicing the high art of asset protection. This is not about tax evasion. You still pay the IRS through the LLC's employer identification number. This is about the fundamental right to be left alone. Most people think these structures are reserved for billionaires. You know they are for anyone who values their silence. If the system cannot find you, it cannot target you. If the process server cannot locate your name on a deed, the lawsuit never reaches your front door. You are becoming invisible to the legal machine. Now you move to level 6. You're becoming a sovereign individual. You decide to exit the traditional banking system entirely. You see the major banks as the ultimate surveillance nodes. They report every transaction over $10,000 to the government. They flag your spending habits for internal algorithms. You close your accounts at Chase and Bank of America. You move your wealth into cold storage. You use Monero for your digital footprints. It is a privacy coin that hides the sender and the receiver. Every transaction is a digital black hole. You use cash for your physical footprints. You buy groceries with $20 bills. You buy gasoline with cash at the pump. You are a ghost at the checkout counter. You feel the cold weight of gold coins in your home safe. You are no longer a line item on a bank statement. You are an offline entity. You look at your daily mail. It is addressed to current resident. You have successfully scrubbed your name from every marketing list in the country. You are no longer a demographic. You are no longer a target for the algorithm. But you realize there is one final link. Your physical presence is still tied to a location. You are still a citizen of a country that wants to count you and track you. You're at the director level of your own disappearance. You do not model the human cost of this isolation. You only model the results. You are ready for the final step into the void. The machine is still searching for you. It will not find you. You're going dark. 10 years later, you are 45. You have left the suburbs. You have left the grid. You live in a small cabin in the high woods of Montana. The interior walls are lined with copper mesh and aluminum foil. This is your personal Faraday cage. No radio waves penetrate these walls. No Wi-Fi. No cellular signal. No GPS pings. You have successfully created a hole in the physical world. You have entered the void. You are no longer a citizen. You are no longer a consumer. You have reached the final level of human existence. You are a ghost in the literal sense. You have achieved what 99% of the population never will. You are gone. You understand the logic of the National Radio Quiet Zone in West Virginia. You know that 13,000 square miles of silence is required for the most sensitive ears on Earth to hear the stars. You have built your own silence here. You do not use electricity from the local utility. You use primitive solar panels with no smart meters. You have no bank account. You have no credit score. You have no digital trail. To the IRS, you are a closed file from a decade ago. To the data brokers, you are a dead lead. You are the ultimate anomaly in the global algorithm. You have deleted your presence from the map, the seventh rule. Absolute privacy is absolute isolation. You have won the game, but you have lost the connection. You sit by a wood-burning stove at 4 o'clock p.m. You read physical books purchased with cash at remote garage sales. You have no internet. You have no news. You have no voice in the digital town square. You are safe. You are free, but you are also completely invisible. You look at your reflection in the darkened window. You do not recognize the man staring back. You have scrubbed your identity so well that even you cannot find yourself. You have become a shadow in the forest. You hear a vehicle on the gravel road 2 miles away. Your heart does not race. You know they are not coming for you. They do not know you are here. They do not know you exist. You have committed digital suicide. You destroyed your last hard drive with a drill. You melted your final SIM cards in a jar of acid. You have erased every byte of your history. You have replaced your name with a void. You are the sovereign of nothing. You are the master of a silent kingdom. You have reached the end of the journey. There are no more levels to climb. There is only the silence. You realize the true cost of the void. You have not spoken to another human in 4 months. You have achieved total anonymity. You are the only person on Earth who is truly alone. The machine is still running. The world is still tracking. But you are outside the frame. You have stepped out of the movie. You are the empty seat in the theater. You are the silent note in the song. You have become the void. You are free. But freedom is cold. Freedom is imminent. You have reached the pinnacle of privacy, and there is nobody left to tell.